How many actors have we had so far play a live-action version of the Batman? Let's see. We've had Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and now we have Robert Pattinson. Let's talk for a minute. Matt Reeves' 2022 film of The Batman. So right away, I just want to say I give this film a 9 out of 10. Very enjoyable movie. Now here's the thing though. I think where people might go into this film and be a little bit disappointed is they're going to think of comparing it to other Batman movies. Don't do that. Because we're all used to, sure, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, the Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson Batman movies, but if you can let go of that, I'm telling you, you're in for a great experience. Matt Reeves is a director who I haven't known to disappoint an audience yet. Movies that he's directed so far include Cloverfield, Let Me In, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is the second of the Planet of the Apes remake movies, and definitely my favorite of the trilogy, and then War of the Planet of the Apes, which was also good, but the second one was even better. So with the pros of this movie, right away I've already mentioned that the director, Matt Reeves, this movie just had amazing directing. The pacing of the movie is fantastic. Actually, one thing I was worried about going into this film is that the movie is 2 hours and 56 minutes long. A 3-hour movie, that just doesn't sound like fun, and I made sure not to drink anything before going into that movie. What was so great about the movie? The pacing the whole time was great. Just maybe the last 20 minutes could have been condensed into 5 minutes, but beyond that, I didn't really feel the 3-hour time length of the movie. Something else that was really great about this film is the cast. With a lot of movies, I've said, oh, there's like an A-list cast and that's great. But it's rare to see a movie where you have an A-list cast and all of the people are utilized well. Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Colin Farrell. They all play interesting characters. They're all great actors, and the film lets them each shine in their own way. Another important element you know I'm going to always come to because it's very important to me, the music and just use of sound. Michael Giacchino is the composer of this film, and he doesn't disappoint. Now, I remember when going to see this movie, one thing I heard was that the soundtrack was kind of Star Wars-like in the sense that it's very grand and a big production. I actually like that. It reminded me of the 1989 Batman, where Tim Burton directed, Michael Keaton was playing Batman for the first time, and Jack Nicholson was the Joker. The music in that movie, too, was very grand and a very big production type of feel to it. The music was fantastic. There was one thing also I remember hearing about with this movie that made me really excited, and it was that the actual setting and city of Gotham was going to be really focused on so that it felt like a character itself. And that lived up to the hype with this movie. Another really important thing here, you've all heard me say this before, and I was really happy how it worked out this time. The villain of the Riddler is played by Paul Dano, and he is fantastic. He is eerie in this movie. Another very impressive thing with this film, The Batman was a movie that had a lot of production start and stops due to COVID health-related issues. There were several times where there were COVID outbreaks on set. They would pause, they'd have to wait a few weeks. It just made me think, okay, how can a movie which has to have a lot of these starts and stops, how is it not going to in some way damage the quality of the movie? But it didn't. When you watch this film, you would have no idea of knowing that COVID was just a thorn in this film's side while it was going through production. The only con that I would say again is just that the part I had mentioned previously where the ending was a little longer than it needed to be. But again, it isn't a major complaint. I'm kind of grasping at straws to find a negative with this movie. Overall, I really enjoyed it. And I would put it up there with, even though I'd said not to do this before, I'm doing it right now. I would put it up there amongst the best Batman movies that we've seen already. I'm telling you, just as a movie itself, as a production, the action, the story, the directing, everything, just being entertained, this movie is very well done. I can't wait to see what Matt Reeves does next. I hope he does continue with the franchise. Robert Pattinson, to see where he goes with this character and with the movie, he did a fantastic job as well. This is one of those movies where it is worth seeing it in the theater. Don't wait until it's available on streaming on HBO Max. Yes, eventually you will be able to see it there. I believe that's going to be mid or end of April that you can do that. But why do that? See it on a big screen with amazing sound. There are fantastic sequences. Let me give you one example. I won't spoil anything other than to say there's a chase scene where the sound of the Batmobile is focused on. And if you're seeing that at home, and sure, I know now people can get sound bars and surround sound speakers in your home, it's not going to be good enough. See it in the theater. I don't want you to miss out on a great movie theater experience. So I'm going to make a comparison here. I'm going to ask you, if you have HBO Max, to pull up Mad Max Fury Road. It's also available to rent on all video platforms. Pull up that movie and watch the first 5 minutes. The first opening 5 minutes up to the point of where you get the title, Mad Max Fury Road. Now, turn the volume up. So if you have, again, your soundbar, your TV speakers, your surround sound speakers, whatever sound system you're using, just watch that amazing 5-minute opening sequence. Now, as amazing as that experience was, imagine if you saw that in the movie theater. Now you have an idea of how good I think the sound experience and the whole movie-going experience for the Batman is in the movie theater. I hope you check it out, enjoy it, let me know what you think, and thanks for listening.